It still amazes me how you can see a 3D design like this SD card storage box, and you can bring it to life by using a 3D printer. Like you can see I have here my favorite color. Very functional storage box for my SD cards. Another design is this one for iPhone charging. So you plug a MagSafe into the system, and now I have something like this where I can easily drop my phone to charge, and I can remove my phone when I'm not charging anymore. I've had the 3D printer for, at this point, 7 months, and it's one of the best things that my wife and I have bought for our home. And you can download 3D designs, whether it's designs you make yourself or the one that someone else makes, and you can bring them to life. There are popular websites where you can find 3D designs like this one, makerworld.com. There's also thingiverse.com. There is printables.com. I usually go to Makerworld. And every 3D design that you find here, you can actually bring them to life. Perhaps you're someone who has been interested in 3D printing. In this video, I just want to share what my experience has been like, doing this for the last couple of months. So for the 3D printer, I have the Bamboo A1. There is a Bamboo A1, there is also Bamboo A1 Mini, and there are a bunch of printers online. The reason why I went for this printer in particular is, or from the marketing and from the things you see online, it's one of the starters for people who don't know anything about 3D printing, which was my case. I knew nothing about 3D printing, nothing about how it works. I don't even know how to make 3D designs, all of those things. And this, from what I learned, makes this so much easier. And we also have what you call the filaments. These are the printing materials. As you can see on here, I have 4 materials, or 3 materials actually. I have a red one, a gray one, a white one, and I have my pink, which has finished. That's why you don't see anything there. Now, as you see on the printer, there is this other system that is holding the 3 materials I currently have, and that is called an AMS. It's an automatic system that can allow you to do multicolor printing. So as you can see here, I can print a design that has 3 colors at once because of this system. Because this system can communicate with the A1 to say, hey, pull the gray filament, pull the white filament, pause, pull the red filament, now play. Now without the AMS, you can still print multicolored if you want. The thing is, it involves a lot of manual work because now you'd have to pause the printer, change the material yourself, press play, press pause, change the material back. Depending on the kind of design you're trying to make, this can be very frustrating work. I was talking about filaments. When it also comes to filaments, there are different types of filaments. I don't know a lot about all these types of filaments. The one I have currently is called PLA, and there is also PLA Plus, and then there is also PTEG, and a couple of other materials. There are even some other plastic materials that feel more like rubber, so they can actually bend or extend. Obviously, the more complex the material is, the more expensive it gets. For me, I stick to PLA, which is very good for in-house things that you want to print. But if these are things that you want to put under the sun or in a place where there's so much heat, then you want to use a better material. For example, this is something that I printed, a small basket for the kitchen. And one day, my wife put it in the dishwasher. And because of the heat in the dishwasher, here is the result. So now we know, don't put things in the dishwasher. Anyways, these are some things that you should keep in mind. You can do more research on this. I'm not an expert on this. I'm just sharing the basic things that I have learned. So like I said, you can either make your own 3D designs and print, or you can just use online designs. Let's say we have this, the one I printed. So what you want to do is you open it in Bamboo Studio, which is the software where you can talk to your printer. I think you can use different apps. Doesn't have to be Bamboo Studio. I'm not very sure. But you can either open this directly in Bamboo Studio, or you can download the file in different formats. For example, you can download the file in STL, take it to another 3D software, add your own things before the final export. But I'm just going to open this directly in Bamboo Studio. You can see how this color from green here changed to red. And I think that happened because I currently don't have a green, so it just chose a different color. But I can still change that if I don't want it. So here you come to slice plate. There are a bunch of configurations you can do here, by the way. But I'm just going to go to slice plate directly. Actually, I should change the printer here to A1, because it's an A1 printer I'm using. You go to slice plate. What I understand about slice plate is that this is where the design is transformed to something that the printer can work with, where you can tell the printer for each layer, do this, do that, put it at this position, all of those things. And then here you can print. You can see this is going to take around 4 hours and 34 minutes, and you can click print here. Now you should have already connected your printer to the Bamboo Studio app. And now here I can say that, well, for the gray part, I want it to be pink. Although I don't have pink anymore, so I should definitely add pink before I click print. And for the red part, which is the handle, I want it to be white. These were pretty much the things I did before I clicked send, and it went to my printer. And yeah, then we have something like this. So it's as easy as that. Or you can make your own designs. And I like to make my own designs on this place called Tinkercad. Tinkercad is a very simple, I think, place where you can make easy 3D designs. For example, you can make a design like this, just a box. So you can make a simple box here. And then you can put a hole. So when you see things like this, it means it has a hole. You can put this hole here. Position it well. I'm also not so good at 3D printing, but 3D design. So we put a hole in this box. Then we can select both of them and come to this place and click group. And when you group, you can see we have this hole here. And then now I can export this as STL, and I can move the STL here. Yeah, look at that. Now we have this. And I can once again go to slice and print. This is going to take 35 minutes. So here I can print, and I can print in color white, send, and then that prints. So for some things, I do make my own design. I can show you, for example, this one here where I charge my camera battery. I made this design, and the reason why I had to was because I wanted something on that where there is a space to plug the charger. So we have that. That is my own design. And for a couple of things, I do make my own design. Is there anything on the desk here where I made my own design? Oh, not really. But for the most part, I go online, find existing designs, and I print them. And a few of them is, like, if you look at my pegboard generally, many of these things I printed online. They were existing designs for them, thankfully, so I just printed them. Another thing I worked on recently is I have a lot of birthday cards or just cards from friends, and they're all laying around. And I wanted a way where I could sort of keep them in an aesthetic, pleasing way. And I have this. So I have a lot of the cards here, and I printed these little holders at the bottom, and I can mount the cards, and it just looks nice just looking at my shelf and seeing some nice cards here. Another thing I printed was a bicycle phone holder. As you can see here, you can mount your phone and lock it. It's actually pretty sturdy, so it's been good so far. But obviously, because of the material that I'm using, I don't want to leave the bicycle outside in the sun, because if it stays under enough sun, the material can get pretty weak. And you can print functional things, or you can even print fun things like this guy here reading a book. It's actually a very interesting design. So you can go from functional to fun. Like you can see the Christmas things that I built here. You can go from functional to fun to crazy to weird to whatever. Yeah, it's your printer. You buy the material and you can print. Now, when it comes to the costs or the savings part, are you really saving a lot of money? I think so. Some of these materials I get for 16 euros or 17 euros, and I'm able to print many things. I can't remember what item was that. There's a particular item, I saw it online. Getting a new one was like 9 or 10 euros. And obviously that would have lasted longer, and it would probably survive sun, heat, and the rest. But that was an in-house material, so I decided to print it, and I didn't use like, I don't know, 10 or 20% of the material that I had. So if I got a material for 15 or 16 euros, a new item that I want to print is like 10 euros, and I'm printing it for like 20% of the material, that's probably somewhere like 5 or 3 euros if my mathematics is correct. That's a good saving. So on that part, you do save, but you also need to think about durability. The things I printed, like I said, I can't keep this outside for long, for example. So if it's something for outside, I would rather just buy. You might be thinking, why not just get an expensive material? Well, I could, but getting an expensive material means two things. At that point, the material is expensive. So am I really saving money by printing? And then the second part is this machine is literally burning plastic. It's burning plastic, which can be very intoxicating. Now, from my little research, I've heard that PLA is not that bad. Yeah, not that bad. But other materials, they can be very intoxicating. So what I try to do is when I'm printing with PLA, I try to not stay in the room with the PLA. I have my windows open. It's not the best, I know, but I've heard that it can, like, it's not intoxicating. So I also have to think about things like that. If I want the more durable material, then I shouldn't be sitting in the same room with my 3D printer. Now there's the other part of it, which is also electricity bills. When you factor in electricity bills, are you really saving money? This is not something I have done a very deep research on, but from the few things that I have learned so far, I've heard that the 3D printer probably doesn't even consume as much electricity as your oven or microwave or other systems in your house in a month. So it is pretty negligible. I don't know how true this is. Should have probably done more research on that before making this video. But all of those things aside, it's pretty cool how I can just think of something. Like sometimes my wife has something and she's like, oh, I wish there was something that could hold my horse boots. And I designed something and I printed, and it's been so functional for the last 5 months since she's been using them. Or I just want to print something that can hold my tripod stand because it's just hanging anywhere in the room. And I see a design like this, I print, and look at that. This is just a brief touch on 3D printing for anyone who is interested. It's been a fun hobby for myself, just thinking about different ideas and just printing. It's been really nice. But that's all I wanted to share in this video. See you in the next video.